Located in the Melbourne suburb of South Bank, the arcade is a business development environment that's exclusively catered towards independent games developers. With 57 people working across 19 companies, we decided to have a chat to people about the fairly more humble beginnings of the arcade and where it is today. So Tony Reid is the CEO of the Games Developer Association of Australia and really the man behind the arcade. Tony, how did the arcade kick off?
We really kicked it off last year. We went to the government, asked for a bit of money, and quite rightly, I think the government's funded a lot of spaces, or especially incubator spaces in the past that maybe haven't worked out. So they knocked us back and said, prove it. So those same developers and I got together and said, well, let's just do this thing. And we did it, and we created the arcade.
So obviously this is a business development space and the people are paying to be here, but where did some of the initial seed funding come from?
So the initial funding came through the GDA, the association that I run, and we pretty much cobbled the space together. A lot of the furniture was donated. I mean, the fridge you saw earlier was a donation. So we had to kind of run it lean and mean for a while. And what we ultimately did is we did prove that it would work. Those initial companies, moved in, almost immediately started just working together as they would. The creative people in one space are always going to just do amazing things. And it started growing. It just started growing organically. And then we went back to government, particularly to Film Victoria and Screen Australia, and said there are things we need to do to make the space better for developers. And they came, they had a look, they looked at what our plans were going to be, and they helped us out. And that's really the only funding we've had for the space. Otherwise, it's all been us, the GDA and the developers.
We spoke with a few of the devs who have moved into the arcade.
The arcade's fantastic because we're surrounded by other developers, we're surrounded by other people making games, and so just small things from like, hey, do you have a contact with this, this press person, or can you get us in there, or hey, can you help us out, like we're having problems with this shader, or even just being able to sort of walk down and have lunch with a bunch of other game developers and hear about what they're doing and what you're doing. You never know when awesome opportunities are going to arise. And then also everyone going in together and sharing the costs of this space. And we don't just have game developers here, we have publishers like Surprise Attack, and then the GDAA is in here as well, like providing all their support. And Giselle, who runs iGDA, is here. So it's just a fantastic network. It's almost like a one-stop shop, for anything that a game developer sort of might need.
Talking with Chris from Surprise Attack. Chris, what do you guys actually do within the arcade?
We work with heaps of developers, both as consultants and as a publishing company. And so I guess what we bring is a lot of knowledge of the marketing and a lot of games that are being released. But we get a lot from the developers that we work with here too, because everyone shares stories, everyone helps each other out, everybody helps each other test their game. So having that breadth of experience and different types of development here really helps each other. Sharing that information, and I guess just like for people who've got a question, whether it's a technical question like, hey, do you know how this fix this bug, or what's happening on this store, like what's happening with Steam. Everyone can just have a chat. Everyone feels very safe with each other. It's really helpful.
Now, obviously you'd had a fair bit of success beforehand. What's it been like working with these kind of newer, just starting out studios? Have they kind of brought a bit to the table for you to learn from as well?
All the different experiences in the arcade sort of help build that sort of collegiate experience, and the newer guys bring a lot of energy, and we have a lot of experience, so that sort of comes together to create this really nice synergy of sort of help, and the new studios can learn from us, and we can get really good ideas from them, and just sort of build the whole thing up. It's really great.
So it's really useful being in the arcade because a lot of the different people here have really different skill sets, and we can kind of ask questions from other people, they can ask us questions from us. It's a really nice kind of sharing environment. And it's good just having, other other people to go to lunch with, other people to, hang out with. And so it's a really nice environment of people doing different things and exploring different stuff. So that's really fun. And it's good for the whole team. It makes us feel like we're part of this kind of community.
The benefit of the arcade is that you're not too far away from someone who can help you solve your problem. And, we've been solving problems for so long that generally we end up helping quite a lot. But the best part about working with all these like newer indie people and newer people into the industry is like they're seeing things from a perspective that we haven't, and that's been incredibly valuable.
One of the things we can do now that's going to be really important going forward is looking at future game developers. We have all this amazing talent in this space, so much knowledge, so much intelligence, and so much creativity. We're going to extend the program out to students. We really want to get students in. We want to create almost a finishing school where we can bring them out of the tertiary institutions, and help them build their portfolios and understand how it is to be in game development. What it is, it's very, very hard work, and a lot of people don't realize that early on, and get them used to that early. So by the time they graduate, they're ready to hit the market, and whether it's to work for another company, to intern here, or go out and do their own thing. And that's really what we want to encourage. We want to encourage entrepreneurs, and we want to encourage that talent to have the confidence to build and create and know that they can do this. This is an industry that they're probably already passionate about. All we need to do is give them the confidence to walk in here, or at least walk out of here going, I can do this.